What is a cult? Have you ever been called a cultist by somebody? People in this day usually try to leave a discussion, or if you want to call it argument, but a discussion about either faith or politics, religion or politics. The woke generation, they will often leave the discussion by labeling you as a racist, or you have a phobia. Okay, phobia, homophobic, Islamophobic. And then they walk off like, okay, I won the argument. I won. If it's in the religion world, Bible world, faith world, they'll often will call you a cultist, or maybe heretic, or maybe you're a bigot. All sorts of different words that people. But I ask people, what is that? What is a cult? Okay, anybody old enough will remember this dude, Jim Jones. This dude here, who led the People's Temple. Okay, and they supposedly over about 1,000 people went down to Guyana. And then they drank the Kool-Aid, and that's where the common phrase comes, don't drink the Kool-Aid. And this may have been a CIA thing, I'm not sure, but this would be pretty well known, and even in Wikipedia, a American cult leader. Okay, but what is that? Okay, in more modern history, during the Clinton administration, there's a guy named David Koresh, who was the Branch Davidians, an offshoot of the Seventh-day Adventists. And you see, they call him a cult leader. And so when somebody calls you a cult, this is what they're accusing you to be. And so, but what is a cult? What is it? Okay, and so here online you got several definitions you can choose. This one says a system of religious veneration and devotion directed toward a particular figure or object. Okay, well, if that's the case, then wow, the Roman Church would definitely qualify, would it not? Another definition is a relatively small group of people having religious beliefs or practices regarded by others as strange or sinister. Again, the Roman Church obviously would qualify, except for not a small group. It doesn't have to be a small group, to be quite honest with you, to be a cult. Strange, thinking Jesus is a cracker, I think that's kind of strange, thinking he's limited to a wafer and you put him in your belly. So this definition has a misplaced or excessive admiration for a particular person or thing. Okay, person or thing. Okay, and so yeah, I would say that's getting closer to it, but we'll just kind of keep working down through here. And here we have, cult definition in the Cambridge English Dictionary. And so this one kind of follows the same line, whose beliefs are considered extreme or strange by many. Anything outside of your religious box will seem strange to some. Okay, but okay, that's that one. Let's try somebody else. Let's see if we can come up with a good, valid reason or definition. So this one says a religion regarded as unorthodox or spurious. Okay. This one says a devotion to a person, idea, object, movement, or work. Okay, that would be a cult. Great devotion. Okay, blind devotion possibly. It could be a belief in here where some fundamentalists really put a great devotion towards some outward dress or something. Okay, this one here is a system of religious beliefs and rituals. Well, that could be anything. So, I'm not really buying into some of these definitions. Let's see if we can try to get this figured out. Over here is a place where they have according to the Cult Education Institute, there are specific warning signs to look out for when considering whether a group might be a cult. Okay, and this one, I tell you, some of this is pretty good here. This one says absolute authoritarianism without accountability. Oh, that kind of sounds like the president we have right now. Okay, absolute authoritarianism without accountability. That would be pretty. I'd say that's a pretty good number one there. Number two, zero tolerance for criticism or questions. Oh yeah. That's not too bad. Lack of meaningful financial disclosure regarding budget. I don't think that's real impressive. Unreasonable fears about the outside world that often involve evil conspiracies and persecutions. I don't think that's a good definition. Belief that former followers are always wrong for leaving and there is never a legitimate reason for anyone else to leave. Now that one there, okay, some Baptist churches kind of have this one and a this one and a this one. Ooh. Abusive members. Ooh, hey. Some of the Baptist guys are kind of doing that, aren't they? Records, books, articles, or programs documenting abuses of the leader or group. Okay. Followers feeling they are never able to be good enough. Wow, some of this is a pretty good description of fundamental Baptist. A belief that the leader is right at all times. I'm the man of God. I'm the man of God. Don't question the man of God. Okay, a belief that the leader is the exclusive meaning of knowing truth or giving validation. Okay, wow, that one would fit on the Greeky friars. Any pastor that runs to Greek, Hebrew, the original languages, he is exclusive. I mean, oh man, a lot of these 10 characteristics, a lot of these can be applied to virtually any church. I mean, isn't that something? In the Bible, probably the closest word to the word cult is sect. And it's only found 5 times here. And, I mean, if you follow the progression of how this word is used here, okay, then the high priest rose up and all they that were with him, which is the sect of the Sadducees. Okay, well, actually that would be kind of close to our word denomination. I don't foresee that as identical with the word cult. In Acts 15:5, but there rose up certain of the sect of the Pharisees. So you have the sect of the Sadducees here and the Pharisees here. Again, I think that would be akin to our word denomination. Now, this one here, this is when Paul was going through the court process, and they brought in this professional hitman, a verbal orator, a hitman, Tertullus. The first 2 verses, he's just kind of kissing up to, Felix, the cat, and the high priest. And then he turns his attention here to the Apostle Paul. We have found this man a pestilent fellow. Yes, he is pestilent. That's right. He's a pest. This fellow's a pest. And a mover of sedition among the Jews throughout the world. And a ringleader. What good wording this orator has, of the sect of the Nazarenes. Now there, I would say it would be our closest to the charge of being a cult today. Okay, Paul, here's the 4th time the word cult is found. And this is Paul talking about the most straightest sect of our religion. I lived a Pharisee, so that goes up with the number 2. And then he says in 28, Acts 28, all these are found in Acts, and you can see the progression. But here it says, we desire to hear of thee what thou thinkest, for as concerning this sect, we know that everywhere else is spoken against. Okay, this one, 3 and 5 would be probably close to our word cult. Probably close to that. And what it is when somebody thinks outside the box, somebody that doesn't like what they're thinking is going to brand them a cultist or a heretic. Now here in Acts 24, Paul is defending himself, and right here he said this, "For this I confess unto thee, that after the way which they call heresy," and I put this footnote here. Okay, they call heresy what Paul believes, "so worship I the God of my fathers, believing all things which are written in the law and the prophets." So if a person believes all the words of God, the ones who do not believe all the words of God, maybe 90% of it, maybe 70%, they will call Paul, or the Bible believer, a heretic. Okay, and then I put this note here in the reference Bible. Okay, the revisers of the New Bible changed the word heresy to sect because they do not want to admit that biblical Christianity appears to be a cult to them. I would say there's probably two big characteristics of a cult. One is you have a man or a small group of men, like in the Jehovah's Witnesses, a governing body, that are authoritarian. That doesn't mean they're going to be violent or abusive at first, but that would be one thing. And the second thing is the word control. I would say those are the two main characteristics of what a good definition of a cult will be: control of the people. Okay, Peter warned against lording it over the people. We were to be elders, and pastors were to be examples in samples. And Paul limited himself to the art of persuasion, just to persuade people by words. Paul warned Titus, he said, "A man that's a heretic after the first and second admonition reject." Okay, so we have the word heretic or heresy or false idea. Okay, now I write in here in the reference Bible that the word heretic is removed by the heretics of the Alexandrian cult. And a heresy is a false teacher. Okay, the New Bible substitute divisive person. Okay, so let's take a look at that and see if what I said there is correct. So this is Titus 3:10. The New International Version, it warned a divisive person. Okay, here's how this works. When a person is under the thumb or control of another, the key is to not let them know they're under the control. And so there are lesser forms of control before the ultimate, violent bully tactics is they might have a banishment, okay, where the Amish will shun, okay, the Jehovah's Witnesses will excommunicate. It might do that. They might just bully somebody. Okay, they might expel them. A lot of it's peer pressure from the other adherents to the idea of the church or the idea that's being promoted, or they'll be manipulated. Okay, and the reason why the New Bible has changed the word heretic to divisive is they don't want to be questioned. You see, that's the second characteristic: zero toleration for criticism or questions. So when you question, they will bully. And of course, if you're going to question, you want to approach it in a proper manner. Okay, divisive, division, divisive. King James, heretic. New King Jimmy jumped in line with the others. Divisive. Okay, so there we go. That's the reason why they do that. Because they don't want to be questioned. Because their system, their belief system, contains so many contradictions that it will be exposed to anybody who's looking at things. Okay, now the subtle method of control must be indirect to avoid resentment and rebellion by feigning the sincerity or spirituality of the vast prophet, the holy man of God. And they are wanting they will talk about, we need unity, harmony. That's what we need. We need to put aside our differences and have unity and harmony. A false unity is often the desire under the authority of the prophet. Okay, therefore you do not question or challenge the man of God. Okay, so there's a problem now. There's a problem there, because I'd say these first two are right there authoritative. Absolute authoritarianism could be one guy, usually maybe one guy and his deacons, or one guy and a few with them, and then they want blind loyalty, zero tolerance for criticism or questions. Now, a person who does question them, they will get bullied. Now, let me show you the ultimate, the biggest and most clear cult in the world. Okay, and so this is an oath, and this oath is documented. This oath is documented here, and the background of this oath: during the election cycle back in this time, 1913. There was a Protestant and a Catholic running for office, and somehow, mysteriously, this oath here, this fourth degree oath of the Knights of Columbus, fourth degree oath, claiming to be of the Roman Church, was recorded in this public record, and here's where it's found. Okay, now of course, the folks here, they're going to deny this oath, but here's where it was found. This is the page number, and this is the date, House Bill. Okay, it was a contested election. Oh, how dare you contest the election? You stole an election. Oh, come on. So what I did years ago is I took this oath and I just copied it, and then I put little comments in here. Little comments, okay? And so I happened to put this in our courthouse of our local county seat on their 150th anniversary. I just put like a stack of 10, and it made a front page newspaper. Now, they weren't upset with what the oath said. They were upset with my comments in here. That's what bothered them. Okay, so this is the ultimate. This is the top dog cult. This is not a small group. Okay, this is probably the second largest cult in the world, the first being Mohammedan Islam. Yes, Islamic phobia. Okay, and let's see what it says in here. And of course, you can take some time and look at this, or look at it online. Here's what it says. I do further promise and declare that I will have no opinion or will of my own. And then, of course, I write, why can't you think for yourself? Are you brainwashed or under mind control? Or any mental reservation whatsoever, even as a corpse or cadaver, but unhesitantly obey each and every command that I may receive from my superiors in the militia of the Pope. The Pope. So there's the leadership or dictatorship or tyrant. And, of course, and Jesus Christ. They got to put that to make it look like, oh, okay, there you go. Okay, then it says that I will go to any part of the world without murmuring and will be submissive in all things whatsoever communicated to me. Okay. Whoa. So this is the ultimate. Now, the Baptist folks and evangelicals and maybe the other ones won't go this far. They won't go this far, but they might get close to it. And, of course, I've got comments in here. And so this one says, I do further promise and declare that I will, when opportunity presents, make and wage relentless war. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Secretly and openly against all heretics, Protestants, and liberals, as I am directed to extirpate and exterminate them from the face of the whole earth. Woo, woo. Now over here, how do you do that? Now over here they said they're going to, that they may be safely destroyed. So how do you safely destroy somebody? I really don't know. Then it says, from the face of the whole, that I will spare neither sex, age, nor condition. Whoa. And I will hang, waste, boil, flay, strangle, bury alive these infamous heretics, rip up the stomachs and wombs of their women, and crush their infants' heads against the wall in order to annihilate forever. Whoa! This excruciable race. Whoa! Now that would be the ultimate. And of course, this can be found here. And these folks are going to deny this, which, hey, that's if they want to deny it, that's their choice. I'm just telling you, this is where it was, and this is what it says. Now, obviously, that is the extreme of a cult. That is a cult in its complete and full observation to another. I do know of some churches, Bible believers, Baptists, fundamental Baptists, evangelicals. Okay, I do recognize that a lot of these characteristics are going to be found in these places. And I would say two basic characteristics, the two common elements of a cult is they have no pure final authority in print. That's one. And then they demand control over the members. Demand control over the members, and whatever you do, don't question. Boy, doesn't that sound like a lot of churches? I do believe so. And of course, the Lord isn't pleased with this. But yet, there's something to think about. What is a cult? Well, it has no pure final authority. They have some type of a hierarchy over it. And that hierarchy demands control over its adherents. So what should you do if this is sort of kind of in your church? Well, I would definitely get on my knees and pray and ask the Lord to guide you. And you just may have to leave. And don't worry about, what people say. You need to care about what the Lord says.